The subfloor in this bathroom is completely shot. And in this video, I'm going to show you exactly how to remove it and install a brand new one from start to finish. Let's get started. Alright guys, so as you can see from the hole in the subfloor, this OSB has definitely seen better days. And to be honest, I'm not sure exactly why this subfloor is failing. Usually when this happens, it's due to some type of water damage, but as you'll see later in the video, there's no sign of damage on the joist or the floor insulation, so I don't think that's what was causing it. To start removing the subfloor, I set my circular saw to about 3/4 of an inch and ran it around the perimeter of the room, staying just inside the wall. Then I used the Sawzall and an oscillating tool to finish off the cuts in the corners and in all the tight spots. Once all the cuts were made, I grabbed a hammer and a pry bar to lift the subfloor off the joist. A bigger pry bar definitely would have made this easier, but this is all I had on hand, so I worked in sections, prying up the OSB and tossing it out as I went. After everything was up, I cleaned off the joist and hammered down any leftover nails. Next, I added some extra blocking to make sure the new subfloor would be fully supported. I used 2x6s, cutting them to length so the edges of the plywood would have solid backing to land on. I then secured everything with 3-inch deck screws, but a framing nailer would work fine too. With the framing done, I took my measurements for the new subfloor and transferred them to the plywood. I also marked the center of the toilet flange so I could cut it out ahead of time. I started with a 4-inch hole using a jigsaw, which left it a little small at first, but I didn't want to make the hole too big initially and risk not having enough material for the toilet flange to rest on. Getting the plywood into place was a bit tricky because of the drain pipe. I did manage to flex the pipe just enough to slide the panel underneath, but you have to be careful if you try that because if you push it too far, you could crack the plumbing. Now, another way to handle this would have been to cut off the old flange, install the plywood first, then reinstall a new flange afterwards. And that's probably what I would have done if all of my tools weren't out on the trailer at a job site. With the subfloor in position, it's time to fasten it down. You can use either a driver with 3-inch screws like I did, or a framing nailer if you have one on hand. But before driving any fasteners, I snapped a chalk line over each joist to make sure I was hitting solid wood. And once everything was screwed down, this part of the bathroom renovation is complete. If you guys found this video helpful, make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Also, if you have any questions, be sure to leave them in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.